Hey. Welcome to another
Yo,
episode of The Goalpost, and I'm joined by pretty boy Thube Nkuta. What's Gucci?
what's Gucci, my brother X. Thank you for having me on again.
I know, thank you for availing yourself, bro. Ish. And yeah, man, like just to start things off, man, yeah, man, our clubs, bro. I mean, Arsenal, should we start off with Arsenal since it's the first team from an alphabetical order perspective? If everyone has 0 points,
I
your
mean,
team is at the
it's
top.
also the first team if you're starting from the bottom going up.
Oh, yeah.
If that's what we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Ah,
Ash,
ish.
Ash. I mean, another loss this
Mm,
past weekend, a heavy loss.
mm.
I didn't watch the game. I'm glad I didn't watch the game. I didn't have to
Yeah.
watch the game to know
I
it
watched it,
was.
yeah, for your
Yeah,
sake. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I saw the highlights and I was like, "Yo, this is bad. This is
Yeah.
really really bad. The defense is bad.
Mm.
Arteta gets broken on one. He has one idea
Yeah.
the whole game, and then once that doesn't work, it's done. You know, it's a scary place to be. It's a sad place to be, and it's sad that the board are okay with this. They still backing him. They still believe in the process. Um, Mesut Ozil posted and said, "Trust the process." A little
I
shade, a
know.
little shade.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's a bad time to be an Arsenal fan, and to be honest, it seems like it's going to be like that for a very very long time.
Ish.
And um, you know, we've probably spent if not the most or second most in the transfer
Yeah.
window. And I think the only plus there is that we signed players under the age of 23.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, man. Hey,
that's the only thing I can say.
yeah, man. Like, you know what, my G, I'm here for you if you need a hug, as far
Mm,
as moral support is concerned. Yeah, man. And speaking of the signings, bro, because in my mind, okay, you guys spent the most, but you guys didn't necessarily buy players who start immediately in your team. And I feel like
yeah,
that's a big problem, from a recruitment standpoint. When you look at clubs like Leicester City, even Tottenham, bro, to a large extent, there's
great
some
transfer
form of
window. Great
exactly, there's
transfer
some,
window.
and as well, they're not necessarily signing the cream of the crop. They're not like Man United who want to flex their muscles. Like they're actually signing players that they need because they
Yeah,
know very well that they trust the system to carry them forward. And
yeah,
essentially, I believe our teams, we don't really have any structure as far as what style of play we trying to we trying to use, and as well, like on my end, we just signing marquee players, but I don't think those players are gonna, help us win anything. Even though even Cristiano Ronaldo, him coming into the team, he's 36 years old. A lot of United fans think that this guy's gonna be the Ronaldo of 2008, 2007, 2008. And he's not, bro. The legs are
yeah,
gone, bro. And we're a team that doesn't feed the ball to our strikers because who's this guy? Cavani doesn't get as many touches in the box. Martial doesn't get as many touches in the box. And the goals that they score, it's always based on individual brilliance and not team play. And so for me, I worry about the service that Ronaldo is going to get because now he's at an age where he can't just now, you remember the old school Ronaldo, take on players.
it
He's
is.
not
Yeah,
there. He's not there anymore. And so I just feel as if, a lot of our fans aren't thinking of our team in that perspective. They're just looking at the player on paper. If you're playing FIFA, of course. I mean, if you got Ronaldo, Umnandi, dog, you guaranteed to score a lot of goals. But essentially, it's a team effort, and as well, we need some form of structure. And you know, back to us discussing your guys' signings. Like, let's start off with Martin Odegaard. What do you think about Martin Odegaard? Is he dope, or is he whack? I don't want to. I don't want to talk up. I don't want us to have an in between. I think, but rather like, is he dope or is he
He's
whack?
dope.
You think
He's
he's
dope.
dope?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's not whack, because whack is such an extreme. He's like, he's a bad player. I don't think he's a bad
yeah,
player. I think he's a good player who
yeah,
is probably going to be coached by a bad coach, and then that effectively makes you look bad,
yeah,
because you aren't being used the way that you need to be used. We've
yeah,
seen many players
yeah.
not be good for one coach, but look great for another. I look
Mhm.
at Damari Gray, bad at
Yep.
Leicester, buzzing at Everton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Odegaard, good signing, good for us to have a creative center that can also support Smith Rowe. I would
Yeah.
have hoped, I would have liked for him to be supported by Ore,
Oh
that
yeah,
dude
that
from
guy from
Leon.
Leon. Yeah.
But we don't always get what you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, Odegaard, good signing, good to
Yeah.
have him
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got him
Yeah.
for cheap as well. So yeah.
Yeah, now you did hit the nail on the head when you said that it's the manager who has to actually, hide his deficiencies and make him excel. Because I
Yeah,
mean, when he was at Sociedad, he did look
that's the
very
thing.
wavy.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
He was putting up crazy numbers on the assists,
yeah,
chances created. Um, he had looked like a key player to have, but that's also because Sociedad had a great coach at that time
yeah,
who was using him in a system that worked. Wingers coming up, pushing out, allowing him to flex his thing, having a key striker who runs off the ball,
yeah,
and those are players Arsenal have at their disposal, but
yeah,
then they aren't being utilized by an efficient enough coach to then
yeah.
have those things come up. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, bro, Ben White, you guys spent 50 bar on Ben White, and you know, can I just make I just have an opinion on Ben White.
mm,
On the ball he looks good. It's just that the issue with Arsenal right now is that aerial threat, like players who, like, you guys concede a lot of goals from
mm,
crosses, especially in the air. I saw the goal that was scored by Gundogan, who isn't
yeah,
known to hit the ball, but he was able to,
he
like
went
that
past
hit
players. It literally
exactly
went past
when,
players, and Gundogan was on the
yeah,
far corner, far post, and he
far
still was
post,
able
and he
to
still
get it.
won. So in
Yeah.
my opinion, I feel as if the signing of him, he's not necessarily the player that you guys need, you know,
Yeah.
because we saw against even Brentford, like he was getting dominated in the air because of how, how the Premier League is, bro. It's a physical league, and even Varane, I'm not sure if you saw Size dominated him
Mm.
and yeah, it was a corner, yeah, and then De Gea pulled a double save. But like essentially the Premier League, that's how it is, bro. Defenders, you need center backs that are stable and that can handle balls that are in the air, bro. So yeah, over to you with regards to Ben White,
Um,
bro.
you see, the issue is that Arteta believes that he like you said, Ben White is good on the ball. So
Yeah,
Arteta believes that he has to have defenders who are then able to play the type of football that he wants to play, which is from playing from the back, right? But the
yeah,
issue when you have that notion is, if you then want to play primarily from the back and you get defenders who then suit your style of play,
yeah,
you then sacrifice that aspect of conceding goals, right?
yeah,
I don't think Arsenal's centre backs are good enough for the Premier League. Rob Holding, Pablo Mari, Gabriel is not the worst, but obviously this is not Brazil.
yeah,
You know, I think I think Ben White was signed purely from uh, an Arteta perspective, not more of a we need this person in our club on a recruitment type of signing to fix the back first. Then if you fix the back, then you're able to start having your philosophy. I think the philosophy was chosen before looking at the right type of player. And I think someone said it once, is that Arsenal are going for players that other teams aren't going for. Ben White was not in demand like that where he needed to cost 50 mil. This dude didn't even start a game for England at the Euros. I didn't even think he played. I think he was there just to pick up some cones. And another thing, it's not like Brighton had a better defense than us. You know what I'm saying? They conceded a lot of goals. Now they lose him, they're conceding a lot less goals, right? I'm not saying Brighton are a better team in terms of like at the back, but you know what I'm like. They made a choice to say, look at what we needed, look at what we just lost, and I think Ben White. It's very difficult to say because he doesn't need time to adapt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're
He
like,
doesn't. That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're English, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously going to be a lot of leeway given to him by the base that he's English. You know, this and this and this. But I don't think it's necessarily a signing we needed to make. It's a signing we have made, and now we can't go back on it. And yeah, man, I think that's what it is. I think, like, if there's a different coach, I'm not even sure Ben White even starts, or he starts because of the price tag. That's where we are.
Oh, yeah. I see.
It's like, we bought him for 50 million. You got to start this guy.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So, you know, it's like one of those situations where you'd hope that he comes straight in, makes the team better, but he makes the team better in Arteta's philosophy. But Arteta's philosophy isn't doing that well. So obviously it then it's like domino effect on a lot of things. I think we were swindled for 50 million though. English or not, I think we were swindled. I cannot believe that there was not any other better defenders out there who could have cost less, who can also still pass the ball.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. Like, I do understand. So yeah, bro, like, you know, as Sam has mentioned, he's like, Arsenal's best formation should be 5. This guy is
Good evening.
Yes, was Gucci, bro. Not with an Odegaard in the middle. Yeah, in a mid to through. Yeah. But the thing is that especially with Kolasinac, I'm surprised that he's even still in your team. You see, it just shows you the hierarchy within Arsenal. Like, dog. Like, there really isn't any structure per se, you know, as to how things are done at the top of the club, bro. And for me, when I look at a team like yours, your team is a big club at the end of the day. It's a big club from a marketable standpoint. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world, bro. Like, you know, so right now I feel as if it's not like the heads, like your Edus of this world, they're not moving and they're not as ambitious as the fan base, you know, as the general fan base. Because a lot of my friends always complain about Arsenal, you know. Of course, you do find your Ty from Arsenal Fan TV, who's constantly protecting the team. You do find those few fans who don't really understand that once upon a time, this team used to dominate. This team used to be feared. I used to fear Arsenal. I used to fear Thierry Henry. I used to, you know, even when you look at the players that you have and you compare them with your rivals, you know, other big clubs, like, do your players fit into those teams? Do they walk into those teams? That's another question I feel as if management needs to always assess. Like, you know, and hey man, like it's crazy what's going on at your team, dog. And then who's this guy? Lakonga. You know,
Good
you know how
signing. Good signing. Good signing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Good signing.
Yeah.
That's it. Good signing.
Yeah, and did you see, bro, that he also got called up to the Belgium national team, dog?
Oh, is it? I didn't see that.
And I mean, Belgium is a big That's it's a team that is dominant. So for the mere fact that he's getting called up to play for his country, Konabo De Bruyne,
Dominant in
Tielemans,
qualifiers.
wow,
And
they can
that's
beat
it.
it,
And that's
but
it.
they
They
can,
thought
yeah.
they can't beat nobody. Can't beat nobody.
Nah,
Can't
they,
beat
they they
big
always lose to
names.
big. Yeah, they always lose to, but they are in the top 10, aren't they? From
Doug,
FIFA ranking
they
perspective.
they were like first going into the Euros, but they got out in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Great team, coached by a bad manager.
Oh yeah, Martinez, another one who I don't rate as well. And so yeah, there's a question here by Sihle. Would Edu survive if a strong manager like Conte came in? That's
No,
a
I
very
don't
good
think so.
question. Yeah,
I don't think so. I think Kante would. First of all, I don't think Kante is going to come to Arsenal.
yeah,
Why would he? Um, but I think Edu needs to be leaving right now, even with Arteta. And I
yeah.
think the partnership he's formed with Arteta is the what keeping him in his job. But that should not be the case. But quick question: no, if a strong manager like Conte came in,
Yeah.
no, definitely not
Yeah,
surviving.
and you see what you see. Just to add to what Sihle asked, that's how I also feel about my club. Right, in previous years, we had two strong managers in the sense of LVG and Mourinho, proven managers who have won Champions Leagues respectively. They've won league titles, they've won trophies all over Europe, and Ed Woodward happens to be a businessman who really doesn't understand how he understands the commercial side of football, but does not really understand that at the end of the day, what goes on the field is what actually brings in more fans. I mean, if you're winning trophies and you're competing at the highest level, that's when you attract even more fans and more jersey sales. Essentially, it doesn't necessarily have to do with us signing marquee players, but if you win games constantly, you attract more support, and so that's part of the reasons why I feel like Ole has been given the role is because they know Ole is a yes man and they can control him. He won't stand up because essentially he hasn't achieved anything of significance. Even Arteta has a significant trophy than he does. I mean, Arteta has a FA Cup, even though he managed two games, semi-final and a final. But Oksala, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
he has that trophy. Ole doesn't have jack shit. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, like it's crazy how our teams, bro, from structural perspective, and we've just lost that ambition that we used to have, and it's just crazy, man. Yeah. And then he's also got another question. I might have missed this, but how long does Arteta have to save his job? That's for you, my G.
It's such a tricky question because I know usually when the board says we stand behind the manager, that's when they are about to be like, we gotta fire this dude.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think Arteta, if he does not, I think after the North London derby, if the
Yeah.
results are still inconsistent around then, I think he has to go around then. But
Yeah.
Arsenal are hesitant, from what it seems, to fire him because they've literally just spent so much money in the transfer window because of him.
Yeah.
Bought players because he said, let's buy these players. Um, they are probably going to feel like if they fire him, it's another reaction thing, and they don't want to look like they made a bad choice. There's a lot of pride that's going on right now in Arsenal where they're like, we don't want to seem like we made a bad choice by hiring this dude and
But
backing him.
hey, man, we all make mistakes, bro. Yeah. Sorry.
And I get that, right? But
Yeah.
then Emery was a bad hire. They fired him. Now they're gonna have to say, "Oh, wait, the dude we just replaced him with, we gotta fire him as well." You know, um, I know what tends to happen with Ole. It's the strangest thing. Whenever his job is on the line, the team plays fantastically. Right? It's one of the
Yeah.
strangest things. Like
Yeah.
when that mirror football says, Ole has 5 games, and the 5 games is Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and then
PSG.
this man's like,
Yeah.
say less, give me the
Yeah.
keys, give me the keys. And I
Yeah.
don't know whether or not that is gonna be the same for Arteta. And it's a sad thing to always wish that your manager gets cut, but Arteta should not go past October.
Yo,
If
October.
if if the results don't change,
Yeah.
late knowing Arsenal, latest December,
Damn.
which is like halfway through the season already,
Yeah, no,
which
that's
would be
true.
bad. But my biggest issue is that I don't think we have a replacement lined up. I don't
Yeah.
I don't think Conte. People are saying Conte. I don't think Conte wants us. People are like,
Yo.
oh, you know what I'm saying? If not him, people are saying Graham Potter. I'm like, guys, let's relax. Let's relax. We're like starving now. We're starving. You know, the jokes are around Big Sam.
Oh my
Give him the
god.
keys.
Oh no,
Uh,
no, 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 teammate dog.
but I think that's the thing. I don't know how much longer Arteta has.
Yeah.
But the next few games are telling. Norwich, Burnley,
Yeah.
throw in the Spurs in the mix. I
Yeah.
think those are huge fixtures for him because there's nothing else. There's no European football. We're not distracted
Yeah.
by anything else. They can't be excuses. We're playing games on Saturdays, Sundays, fresh. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, and that's so true, bro. Because that's what I'd expect your team, like, especially if there isn't any European football, bro. Like, there really isn't any excuse. You can't say the players are jaded, bro, because it's bullshit. Like you have to be winning against these teams, bro. Like you are I feel like you are a better a team than Norwich and Burnley. With Spurs, it's just Nuno is he knows how to
Better
set up
coach.
his. Yeah, he's a better coach. Like look at Davidson Sanchez. Who's this? It's Davidson Sanchez as well as Dyer. I mean, they solid, bro. They haven't conceded a goal this season. Like Tottenham right now, they're very organized. Even against City, how they played City, they were very organized. And City had better players. It's just that at the end of the day, tactics, and as well, Nuno always knows how to beat City. Even when he managed Wolves,
Yeah, it's
he
true.
always got them up one. Yeah, 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 yeah. But hey, man, like come to think of it, ideally, which manager would you want to replace who Arteta, bro? Because I mean,
Um,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you've asked me this before already.
yeah,
And I think I've always said I think I'd like a German manager. I don't know who exactly. I don't know who's available.
yeah,
I don't follow German football like that, but I think give me a coach who's at least coached
yeah.
at this point.
What
You know,
about the
there's
guy from? Oh, sorry, the
which
guy
guy?
from Ajax,
Yeah, he's a good
Tunal.
coach.
Yeah,
But also like I think my biggest issue, man, is what does Arsenal offer that other teams um, don't right now? You know, because you come in, are you a coach or are you a manager? You know, like what's the structure you're going into Arsenal?
yeah. I know.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. No, I hear
Yeah.
you, bro. I know they know you. I do get your point, bro. But yeah, man, on my end, bro. As far as
Who would you like to replace Solskjaer?
social, oh me. Okay, with United, either Conte or Zidane, in my opinion. Either of the two. I think with Zidane, the pro would be that he comes with a lot of commercial value. I mean, Zidane, our fathers would want to take pictures, or even our uncles. They'd be like, yo, like this is a legendary manager. So like he is a person who's legendary, who's won the Champions League three times. Cristiano Ronaldo being someone who he managed, Varane is someone who he managed. Paul Pogba, French player, you know. So it would for me. I think Zidane um, would put a lot of pressure on the board, you know, per se, because I mean, this guy is a legendary figure and a person who has high standards, you know, and hopefully the board can match those standards. And then Conte would be a person who, from a defensive standpoint, would bring out the best out of our defense and would be more organized, would be pretty much how Chelsea play in a way. It's very difficult breaking down Chelsea. I mean, you saw they went down to 10 men and still they were
Mm.
able to hold their own, you know. So yeah, man. Be either any good manager, bro, like that's available. Even Ten Hag, bro, like any good manager with the players that we have, to be dog, with the weapons that we should be uh we should be doing well, bro, like as a team. But in our last two fixtures against Southampton, even against Wolves, yes, we got the 3 points, but it was just scope and donner, freestyle football 101. And that is not sustainable in the long run. We will get exposed, bro. And every fixture that United, every team I play against, you know, especially if it's a team that on paper I know we better than, I always panic, bro. Like I always have this thing, you know, to edge this dude, bruh. He might just, you know, start McFred. And that's essentially what we're gonna do now. You know, we've signed Donny van der Beek for 40 bar and he's chilling there, bro. Like I really don't get this guy all it dog. Ngokuthi, bruh, and Donny is someone who's very good at advancing the ball. He's even picked up. He's even like started. He's been at the gym, so he's gained a few pounds, you know, just to suit the physicality of the league. And still, this man would rather, especially against Southampton, you'd rather bring on an injured McTominay and a Lingard who just came back from COVID over him. You know, so for me, that kind of baffles me. Moguti, what's going on? You know, like you, the one that signed this player, first of all. It's not like it's Mourinho who signed him. It's Ole who signed this dude, you know, and you're not even playing him, you know, especially when we have to retain possession. Donny is very good at retaining possession. He's not a person who gives away the ball. He's not clumsy. His first touch is good because with Fred, the issue with Fred, he's tenacious, yes, but he's got ants in his pants. You know, at times, homeboy can't even control the ball properly. You know, a simple pass to him, you know, it's as if he's in a rush. And at times, you just need that composure, especially if you're playing in a six. You need that Sergio Busquets composure, Andre Pirlo composure, even Jorginho. Yeah, yesterday I was with my mates who support Chelsea. Jorginho is another one who's very composed on the board. He doesn't panic. He knows when to pick a pass, when to break lines, you know. And that's pretty much that what we need. And I feel like Donny can do the job. I'm not saying he's the best at doing it. Like as far as CDMs are concerned, there's better CDMs out there. But with what we have, I think Donny is someone who should be starting for our club, you know. And at least with Donny van der Beek in midfield, I know he is disciplined enough to sit, you know. He's familiar with playing ball possession, you know. He knows how to just hold on to the ball nicely. He knows how to think out of the box, you know. And yeah, I think the would be better if you'd come into our team, but it seems as if Ole doesn't feel him, man. So yeah, man, like Tina, our weakest link is our manager. That's what I can say, bro. You do find players on Twitter like your boy Capone saying Fred is stealing for a living, you know. But when you watch Fred play for Brazil, he's different, you know. Like that's the thing, you know. Our players when they play for the national teams, they different, bro. They play well, but when they return to United, all of a sudden they're back to being these guys who seem as if they don't know how to play ball, bruh. So yeah, man, for me, weakest link is the manager. I mean, we got rid of Dan James, thank God. You know, like for me, bruh, he's just a pace merchant in my opinion, you know. But like, I'm just glad that we did get rid of him. Brandon Williams is also on loan, and I think he should stay there because he's another player who I don't rate. He's not of United standards, in my opinion. You know. But yeah, man, like our coach in J needs to fuck off. That's all I can say,
Word,
bro.
word.
Yeah, word, word,
Alright,
word, word.
alright, alright.
Yeah, yeah. I know links, bro. Thank you once again for availing yourself, bro. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure,
Yeah,
to
thank
have
you
you
for
on the
having
show.
me.
Yeah, you're a person
Word.
who I know when it comes to football, you've got a very high IQ, my G. And yeah,
Bless,
man.
bless.
Guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help us with the algorithm, just for us to get the views and the subscription. As a belief, guys, this is the
But
goalpost, and we out.
gang
Peace
gang.
out. Gang, gang, man.